Thank you, praise team. Shalom. We can give another clap offering unto the Lord. We thank God today. It's time for my testimony. It is time for your testimony, for our testimony. It's time when we talk about the wonders that God is performing amongst us. And by the way, happy Father's Day, man of God.
Happy Father's Day to you.
Happy Father's Day to all fathers in this place.
And not forgetting the miracle that God has given us.
Yes.
It was the visionary who's our Father.
Yes.
Come on, people of God, let's just say Happy Father's Day to our Father. 1, 2, go.
Happy Father's Day.
Come on, that one wasn't for Baba. Come on, let's do it well again. We say Happy Father's Day, Baba.
We love you. Happy Father's Day, Baba. We love you. Thank you.
That's more like it, because the weight of the man that we're talking about, it has influenced all kind of generations.
Indeed.
Generations from the mid-60s and below, and into the previous millennia, into the current millennia, in the Gen Z,
into the future.
even into the future. And he's a man that is worthy to be celebrated because of what he has managed to do. And today is that day again where we have to share the magnificent works of God, Doctor.
Yes, our Father is a gift that keeps on giving. And we are going to share a testimony of one of the amazing things that he continues to do. 2 weeks ago, our Father taught us. The title was Talita Kumi. I'm sure we all remember that title. It was a fire-packed service. What I've noticed is whatever our Father teaches, it's prophetic. Things happen. During that same week, I'm sure you received that testimony, man of God.
It was breathtaking.
Of a parent who had a child who had, there's been this flu bug which has been going around. And the child lost, was it a he or a her?
It was a he.
A he, lost the life. And the father noted that this kid is gone. There is nothing that can be done. But on remembering the word Talita Kumi, and text somebody from this ministry and send the same text that no, Baba on Sunday said Talita Kumi. And the father just declared those words. The child rose, the child is with us, the child is doing well. But that's not the testimony for today. That's not for today. Last week, our Father taught about a strange kind of glory. If you remember, you were here. Strange glory about a man who was gone, who was dead, and people had gathered to him, his funeral and everything. But God, Jesus, did something miraculous, rose him up, and he became a living testimony. We've got a testimony which demonstrates that. Last week, there was a family which came with a very terrible situation. They had a 17-year-old girl who was very sick with a very strange illness. She had to be carried here to the sick bed there.
To the healing bay.
To the healing bay, yes. And she had to be carried. And at home, she had been lying at home for 1 month. She went to school just for 1 week when the second term started. And she couldn't go to school. So the mother actually, you will hear the full story. The mother surrendered her to one of the neighbors, and the neighbor decided to bring her here. And she was brought here, and we have a team of doctors, nurses, medical people who are very committed, and their job is to screen all the people that come to the healing bay, go through their medical records, examine them if possible, make sure that this person is really what they are claiming to be, because you don't want somebody who is faking the medical symptoms. And our team is there to do that due diligence. So they examined this young girl and were certain that, sure, this young girl is sick. I also went there and examined her. You'll see the clip. And, you know, there are certain things that you cannot, in medical terms, there's the word malingering, where somebody is trying to fake the symptoms. An experienced clinician can tell that this is malingering, but this is not malingering. There are certain clinical signs that you just cannot fake.
I like it when you use those tongues, when you
you
explain to us
can't.
in those tongues.
You can't. So I also went there just to be sure, because, you know, it's unusual to see a young girl lying on the bed. And I went there, examined, and was pretty certain that this girl cannot do. She can't stand up. I tried to raise her up. Not that I was trying to perform a miracle. I was just trying to verify, and could see that the power in the leg is like 1 or 2 out of 5. We grade the power out of 5. And then during the service, she was just lying there. And then at the end of the service, our father passed through the healing bay. Something happened. And when that something happened, I remember calling the media team that, please come and witness what we are watching here. And the media team, I'm so glad about this team. They went an extra mile. They just didn't capture there, but they followed home. They went home.
You see, Doc, these people are suffering from curiosity now. Because
They went home with this child and the neighbor. And what they found at home were amazed neighbors who saw the child walking out of the car, and they had a chance to interview and interact with the neighborhood.
when
Why I'm saying this is,
yes,
when the video plays, you'll hear them saying, Prophet Ivati, Prophet Ivati. It's like Jaitika the same day. And then you'll hear, we've been following up throughout the week. You'll hear them saying, Prophet Vakati. Okay? So there's present tense and there's past tense. So I'm just saying this so that you won't be confused as to what's happening now. Why are they saying today? And then why are they saying 4 days ago?
and doctor, when I witnessed the progression of the testimony myself, I couldn't help it but feel goosebumps in my body.
It's out of this world, man.
I would want you, when you are listening to this testimony, I want you to listen to it like a father and like a mother. And you understand that indeed, when we have a man of God, we have a solution amongst us.
So media team, can you please play the clip? So let's just sit down, let's relax. Let's not applause because the video is just going. It won't pause. So if we want to applause, we'll just applause at the end. Media team, you can go ahead and play the clip.
Ndinoitwa mai Ruvarashe bakasa. Last month Ruvarashe akatanga kurwara, saka ndakangofungidzira kuti pamwe kurwarawo zvako. First week this term ndopa akaenda kuchikoro. Aenda kuchikoro ndakadedzerwa, akatobuda mumba zvakanaka. Achisvika kuchikoro ndakadedzerwa, ndofunga kwangu tori kuma 8 zvikanzi mwana arwara. Ndasvika kwekwe ndakasvika mwana akatorariswa pamubhedha nematicha ese akamukomba achirwara zvekurwara zvi. Vakazopedzisira vanditi kana mwana wenyu achirwara musamuunze kuchikoro. Hatisi kuda kumuona kuno, kugarai naye kumba kusvika apora. Ndopa ndakamutakura ndikauya kumba. Handina kuzomuendesa kuchikoro futi. Ane 4 weeks asiri kuenda kuchikoro. Achirwara kudaro akanga asagoni kana kuzvigeza, kana kufamba, kana kuti aendewo kana kutoilet ega.
Taimubatirana kutoenda naye kutoilet. Totonosvika mutoilet, tobvisa hembe, oita zvaanenge achida kuita. Todzoka naye kana akuda kunogeza, totomugezisa. Tomupfekedza hembe, hapana chataisiya, zvese taitopfekedza. Anga asingakwanisi kufamba rova. Zvaitonzwisa tsitsi semwana mudiki, semunhu akaberekawo. Zvaitorwadza nguva dzacho waitobudawo panze unochema kuti uchemere mari zvasingaiti.
Situation yanga inamai Ruva yaisiririsa nekuti Ruvarashe uyu ndiye anga ari mwana wavo firstborn, aine vamwe vana kumashure. Saka vamwe vana vanga vasato vaatendi, vangoatenda Ruvarashe. Kana kuti vaitewo mamwe mabasa, vanga vasisakwanisa kuita mamwe mabasa mai Ruvarashe, vangoita zvekuona Ruvarashe. Saka isu sevanhu vanga tichigara naRuvarashe namai Ruvarashe taitozovabatsirawo. Pamwe pacho vakati ndauda kumboenda kumagirosa kana ndimboendawo kutauni, wotosiya vanditi chimbonditarisiraiwo mwana uyu. Pamwe pacho totomutakura tombomuisa mumba mangu usara ari imomo. Saka zvinhu zvaitondirwadzawo ini semubereki kuti saka izvi zvinosvika rini zvakadai so. Saka Ruvarashe uyu achazovei? Zvaanga atova musikana atoti kure, saka achazodii? Zvaitongotishungurudza mupfungwa dzedu tese takamutarisa Ruvarashe. Mai Ruvarashe vakaturaya. Taitomboona uchiendawo naye Ruvarashe kuchipatara.
Taenda kuchipatara, takasvika kwekwe, havana chavakaona kuchipatara kwe. Tadzoka kumba ndo pandakatanga kuona kuti mwana anenge maspiritual attacks. Ndakatiraiwa kuenda kumaprofita uko ndaipiwawo mafuta ekuti amwe, malemoni ekunzi afukire anatire, dzimwe wacho achinzi anwe, asi hakuna chakabuda, hakuna zvakashanda. Zvinhu zvaitoita wese, zvichingoramba urwere uchikura.
Maonero adaizviita anga ari ekutoti dei mwana uyu atsvagirwa wheelchair. Asi zvaizotinetsa futi kwakuri kungofunga kuti muwheelchair macho anga ari munhu wekuti kunyange akagara kudai so aitoda kubatsirwa.
Everyday aichema, ndichirwadziwa nazvo. Handina musi wandakawana hope. Monthly irori. Ndazopedzisira ndaita give up. Ndikaendpova ndakapa vakanditi imbotipai kuno timbochengeta tichitarisa tichiona kuti zvakamira sei.
Chimwe chanyanya kutirwadza ndechekuti amai vacho vanga votongogara vachingochema. Tatetopinda futi basa rekutonyaradza amai vacho.
Nekunzwawo tsitsi nekuona zviri kuitika sevanhu vakavakidzana nevabereki vake. Takasvikawo panguva yekuti takamboti kuti musarambe muchifunga zvakanyanya nekuti zvinenge zvanga zvakuafekta mai vacho. Chimbondipaiwo ndimbogara naye. So vakandipa ndikagara naye 1 week. But pa 1 week iyoyo pane zvinhu zvakawanda zvaitika. Waitoita kutakura, wakatakura, ukamusiya pawamusiya haabvi ipapo kana usina kumutora.
Saka zvaRuvarashe zvairatidza zvazvaramba.
Ndakazosvika pakuti ndakazokumbira mai vake kuti ndachikumbirawo kuti ndimboenda naye kuchechi ambononamatirwa naprofeti kuti tione kuti zvii zviri kunyatsoitika paari. So nhasi ndabva ndaenda naye kuchechi.
Ndangoti endaiwo henyu, mwana anga achida kutakurwa kuti aende apinde mumotikari achienda kuchechi.
Tazotakurwa tikaenda kuchechi nemota. Tasvika kuchechi, bva pauya maasha vakamutakura vanga vari 2, vakaita zvekutomusimudza necheya nekuti makumbo ake aitadza kusimuka kuti afambe, anga asingatogoni kana kufamba. Saka maasha aya kumusimudza necheya kwanga kuri kumubatsira kuti aende anorara pabhedhi nekuti makumbo ake aitadza kusimuka kuti afambe, anga asingatogoni kana kufamba, aita zvekuzvuwa makumbo. aiswa pabhedhi, then doctor vamuti simuka, vachida kuverifya kuona kuti condition yake yakamira sei. Pakutraya kuda kusimuka aitobata gumbo rake neruoko kuti atraye kurisimudza, obata rimwe, but still zvaingoramba. Doctor vambomubata ruoko vachida kumubatsira kusimuka kusvika vangomusiyawo ari ipapo. Condition yake yanga zvinhu zvaitorwadza kuti mwana wechidiki anotadza kufamba ega, zvekuda kutotsvagirwa vanhu vanomubatsira kufamba. Sevhisi yese yaitwa akarara, haana kana kusimudza musoro, anga akangorara. Chanyanyondifadza pataienda kuchechi ndechekuti tichisvika muprofita achipinda musevhisi, ndine zvinhu zvandadzidza kuti sevhisi yanhasi changa chiri chiprofita.
When Jesus heard that Lazarus was sick, what did he say?
This sickness is not unto death, but for the glory of God, that the Son of God might be glorified.
You see that? So that's the subject today. We are going to talk of that strange glory of God. It's a very strange glory. And this one, before it can manifest, it has to be preceded. There is a condition that has to go ahead of this one. And Jesus, by his divine understanding, he knows that this specific disease is not unto death. It will have to result in the glory of God. I have personally seen God seemingly promoting conditions, allowing certain problems to persist, as if he's not aware. So that when you are to get your victory out of that situation, many will believe in God.
Muprofita pane pavataura vachiti izvoni Jesu paanenge ari kunzvimbo dzakasiyana siyana, hakusi kwese kwaanoita zvinhu.
So next time you are in a crisis and you start to question, is God present? Where is God? Where is God? Because you've said it before. Where is God in this? Where is God in this? He's there. Because he's omnipresent. The issue has to be, why isn't he active? Getting him to be active, for his presence to be active. Do something since you are here. He's there whilst you're suffering. He's there. He is even there whilst you are dying. And you hear him saying, it's because I wasn't there.
Ndaona kuti shoko iri raparidzwa ranga rakanangana nesu. Isu kumba Jesu uvepo hwake hwanga huriko, but hapana chaichinja. Condition yemwana yakaita kunge iri kuramba ichikura.
He can be everywhere and be doing nothing to the situation, to address the condition. He can be there. Wasn't Jesus there in the boat when it was about to sink? He was there. He was sleeping. And they got him to do something. Getting the presence of God to then do something to show that you are present. It's another dimension. There is a way that you can get him to do something. So don't just question his presence here. Question your presence there. You also. Because your friends, your colleagues there are not dying.
So pataienda kuservice, ndanyatsonzwa nekufara kuti service yanhasi iservice yake nekuti muprofita vaita kunge vanga vachiparidza iye kuti dambudziko rako rinopera kana uchinge wauya iwewe wazvipresenta kuna Jesu.
It's not entirely up to him to come. It's also up to me to go. If I can find him and I stay in his presence, these conditions would then not take advantage of his absence. Because now he's present, not because he chose to be present, but because I chose to be present in his presence. I find a place where there is a concentration of the presence of God, and there I stay.
Taenda nemwana kwanga kuna Jesu ari active. Prophet bva vazouya avanombomubata vangodeclare vachitopfuura vachienda. Moyo wangu neshungu dzangu dzanga dziriko dzekuti dai prophet vasvika vamubata vamunamatira nekuda kwokuti condition yake yanga iri yekuti yanga yakutoshungurudza, but prophet havana kumubata vangodeclare.
When a word of God is spoken, like I'm speaking his word now, the Bible says he sent forth his word and healed them from all of their diseases. Allow me to say, all of you here in this building, in the tent, who were sick, you are whole. Begin to thank him for that. Lift your voice wherever you are. Continue praying. It's done. Package your testimony. You are bringing it here. It's done. Yahoo. Yahoo.
Prophet vapedza kudeclare vachitobuda vachienda, but vasvika like pabed paanga ari vavati it is done.
It's done. Yahoo. Yahoo.
Ndokuzomuka kwaaita asina kana kubatwa akutanga kutofamba ega. Yashamisika nekuti munhu anga ane nguva yakati rebei asingagoni kufamba ega, asina zvaanokwanisa kuita ega. Saka izvozvo ndangoona kuti Mwari zuva ranhasi vanga vakangorigadzirira kuti Ruva izuva rake rekuti asungunurwe, izuva rake.
Saka vari ikoko ndipo wabva uzotifonera kuti Ruvarashe akufamba. Isati tinombozvibvuma, hatinombozvitenda kana kumbozvitarisira. Tangoti kungotaurawo zvavo. Isu tanga tichitotarisira kuti tichaona Ruvarashe achidzikiswa akabatiranwa zvatagara tichingomuita mazuva ose. Tatoshamisika kuona Ruvarashe achitozvifambira ega, achitoburuka mota zvokuti tese patamuona achiuya tashamisika, tapembera, tapururudza kushaya kuziva kuti nenguva yose yatagara naRuvarashe achirwara marwariro aaita, kuchichaitika kuti Ruvarashe azouya achifamba kudai achitozvifambira ega, chitotaurawo naye, tatotanga kutotaura naye, zvatishamisa tese. Mwari wakanaka. Uchema mai bakasa. Mwari wanoshamisa. Mwari wakanaka wedu we, Mwari wakanaka wedu we. Ruvarashe.
Zvatotishamisa ende taita kufara kwatasakatamboona kuti Ruva audzoka akufamba.
Ndamutarisa kubva kusoka kusvika kumusoro, ndikaona zveshuwa mwana ari kusekerera zvaangasaiti, amhanya zvandandisaona achiita, atamba kutaura, ndamuona mwana wangu achitaura zvaangasisaite. Iwo ndoda kutenda Mwari.
he takes you.
It's a phase
He
that
formulates you. He does something wonderful to you. So good, where you become the gospel.
to the extent that you yourself
You become the
gospel.
message of the love of God. Vanhu havachada kunzwa kuti Mwari vari kuti kudii mazuva ano. They
People are
have
no
to
longer-
look at you
People no longer
and
searching
know
to
what
hear.
God is saying. So we are talking of two phases of your life. The life that you once lived before, right? And you are going to have another life after this calamity. After this problem. When you are raised out of this grave that you are in now. When Jesus brings you out, they will look at you and believe in God. Imagine, they will have to look, they will just have to look at you and they have to believe in God.
Ndichiona ruva handidi zvekuparidzwa nomwe munhu nokuti zvandaona nhasi ishoko ritoripo pana ruva. Handine kutenda kushoma asi nhasi kwanyatsowedzerwa nekuda pamusoro paRuvarashe. Ndasingambofungi kuti Ruvarashe angasimuka akafamba.
Ndakatarisa Ruvarashe. Ndaona simba raMwari rinoshamisa. Ndaona ukuru hwaMwari. Ndaona kugona kwaMwari. Ndinongoti Mwari vakadai ngavanamatwa.
Ndanga ndisina tarisiro yekuti Ruvarashe angamuka akafamba zvekare. Asi Mwari vandiitira zvakanaka muzuva ranhasi.
Indoda kutenda Mwari nezvandakaitirwa. Vaprofeti pavakadeclare musi weSunday pana ndikarara ndakangonzwa simba pandandika ndichaya kusimuka pandatosimuka ndobva ndatozvina ndaakutofamba. Ndoda kutenda Mwari wemuprofita kubva pandakanamatirwa kusvika nhasi dza 5 days no pain handina kana pari kurwadza. Ndiri kutoenda kuchikoro, ndiri kukwanisa kufamba, zvose zviri perfect. Zvana ndisingambotarisiri asi Mwari wemuprofita uyu anoshamisa. Ndiri kungoona ruoko rwaMwari pese, ndiri kuona ruoko rwaMwari. Handina kumbobvira ndakazvifungira. Ndaitofunga kuti pamwe this is the end of me, ndatofa pasisina. But Mwari vakandirangarira padandisingatarisire, ipapo Mwari ndopavakandirangarira. Ndoda kutenda Mwari. Mwari vanogona. Mwari ndakaona Mwari ine.
So what you have come to witness today is a groundbreaking ceremony. It's a project that has started today. He's doing a work in you from today that this world will look at and will wonder. They will glorify God. They will say, if there was no God, there is no way this woman would have made it to this point. You hear that prophecy? Remind your neighbor, this man is prophesying.
Wow. Thank you very much, media team. we apologize. It's a long clip, but we thought it necessary to show everything. I'm sure you can see the reason why. This is the God that we worship in this place. And this is the God who has raised our Father, who does such amazing things.
You know, Doctor, that's why I said when we started that. Listen to it as a father. Listen to it as a mother. How would you feel when your child is in such a condition that you yourself, you are now hopeless towards, and you don't even have a solution? And only if you could find a man that could help you. And in this regard, they were very privileged to be in a season where we have a man of God that when he says something, he is actually prophesying and saying exactly what is happening in that moment. And he is a man that when he speaks, he is coming to address the present problem and the future problems that are to come. But doctor, I would want to understand, doctor, what was going on with this girl? What kind of a condition was this?
Just briefly, man of God, I examined her, other doctors examined her. What we noted, part of the examination is what was shown, but not everything. What we noted was there was no power in the lower limbs. Even just lifting the leg against gravity, she couldn't. That's why I said initially, if you want to grade the power, we grade it from 0 to 5. Hers was just 1 out of 5. She couldn't even carry the trunk. You saw when she was lifted, she couldn't carry herself. There was no power from the waist going all the way down, and the legs were painful. And all this is indicative of a nerve problem. She had some kind of neuropathy, nerve problem. And as to what causes it, it's very difficult to tell. But what we know as doctors is in winter season, sometimes somebody might have had a viral illness, maybe a flu or something like that. And then as the flu recedes, people tend, it's very rare, but some people tend to have paralysis. They have what is called Guillain-Barré syndrome. It's a syndrome where the coating on the nerves is shed off and one loses strength in the lower limbs, sometimes in the upper limbs, sometimes even the breathing becomes a problem. So it's something that is preceded by a viral illness, and then one loses control of the muscle groups and the nerves. And if you want to look at the literature, you can see that some people might actually lose the control for even months, or even 6 months, 8 months, or even a year. Some might actually die from that condition, from the complications associated with just lying down. And mind you, this is a 17-year-old girl. One thing that a 17-year-old cannot stand is lying down for a long time. This is a very active age where they want to do everything. But if you see a 17-year-old doing that, you must understand that this one is a serious condition. It's a critical condition where I would not expect her to just rise up immediately and start walking like we noticed last week.
You know, that was actually going to be my next question, and you took it right out of my mouth. That is it something that is normal for a person with such a condition to just stand up and run within a few seconds of a declaration from the man of God?
No, it's impossible. It's impossible.
So from your standpoint as a doctor, this is actually a miracle.
It is a miracle, man of God. It is a miracle. I examined her. Other doctors examined her. The nurses saw her. Everyone is up to now. We are all amazed. We are all amazed about what happened.
Maybe, doctor, we would want to see Ruvarashe. If you could allow us, people of God, let's just call upon Ruvarashe and her mother to come here in front. Come on, let's just clap our hands.
Thank you. You can take your seats. Tinokutendai mama vaRuvarashe. Ruvarashe. Tinokutendai mama, especially for bringing Ruvarashe to the house of God. Hazvi rudo irworwo haruna vanhu vakawanda yekuti anoona mwana womuvakidzani oti kuchechi kwandinoenda ndakamboona vanhu vakadai vachiporeswa. You took a risk ende dai zvakaramba amen okuti mai Ruvarashe makatoriska nababa venyu naprofeti venyu makavariska. But I know kuti kana kuine nzvimbo yekutorera risk ndekunoku because hazvirambe kunoku. Hatichakubvunzai zvakawanda, matsanangura zvakawanda. Ruvarashe, wanga wachida kutenda muprofita. This is your opportunity to thank Prophet Emmanuel Makandiwa, Prophetess Ruth Emmanuel Makandiwa.
Ini ndoda kutenda muprofita nemuprofitakadzi.
I want to thank the prophet and the prophetess.
Nekuti zvandakaitirwa it's too much. Nanhasi nditori mushoko kuti ndini here ndiri kufamba, but nekuda kwenyasha ndiri kufamba. Mwari wemuprofita anoshamisa, Mwari wemuprofita anogona.
What they did for me is too much. To this day, I'm still in shock that is it me who is finally able to walk again? The God of this prophet is too much.
Handinombobvira ndakazvifungira kuti ndichatofambawo, ndichamukawo, but nhasi ndiri pano ndiri kupupura kunaka kwaMwari.
I never imagined that I would be able to walk again, that I would even rise up from that bed again, but here I am today, testifying of the goodness of God.
Ndoramba chiti Mwari ngavaropafadze Prophet Emmanuel Makandiwa namama. Ngaaramba achivawedzera makore mazhinji. Ndaakuita zvinhu zvandasingakwanise kuita. Ndinotenda Mwari wemuprofita. Mashoko haagoni kutenda Mwari wemuprofita. Haagoni nekuti anoshamisa.
Words will not do justice to the gratitude that I feel, but may God continue to increase and bless the prophets, and may they live long.
You see, Doctor, you can even see the happiness that is on her face. And it tells a million stories about what was happening in her life. And I would like to also ask something. Are you at school, as we have seen? And what form are you in?
I'm in Form 4.
Okay. What subjects are you doing?
Sciences.
So see how the devil had planned against such an intelligent child. In the year that she's supposed to sit down for her exams, the devil had planned against who she wants to become. What do you want to be when you finish school?
I want to become a civil engineer.
I thought you were going to say a doctor. Anyway. All right, Mama, mashoko enyu.
Mama, what would you like to say?
Ini ndinoda kutenda Mwari.
I want to thank God.
Ini ndinoda kutenda Mwari. Ndaona ruoko rwaMwari.
I've seen the hand of God.
Ndinoda kutenda Prophet Emmanuel Makandiwa
I want to thank Prophet Emmanuel Makandiwa and Mama
nezvavakandiitira pamwana wangu. Ndinoti Mwari wawedzere makore kurarama panyika. Ndinotenda. Ndinotarisira kuti mwana wangu achapasa nemunana waakaitirwa uyu. Ndinotarisira kupasa.
I'm so grateful, and I just pray that God gives them many years to live on earth, and I'm looking forward to even my daughter passing just by virtue of this miracle that we've seen.
I just want to ask something, Mama. When your child came from church and she stepped out of that vehicle, what went through your mind? Were you expecting that?
Ndakashamisika, ndanga ndisina
I
kuzvitarisira
was amazed. I
kuti
wasn't
mwana wangu
expecting.
angauya achifamba.
I never thought she'd come back on her feet.
Ndakafunga kuti pamwe zvichadzoka zvekare. Ndozvaingofunga
I thought
mupfungwa
maybe the
dzangu.
condition would
But
return,
ndakaona kuti Mwari vanoshamisa.
but I saw that God is truly
Vakandiitira
amazing,
zvinoshamisa.
and He did amazing things for us.
You see, Doctor, our father said something a couple of weeks ago. He said, if there is a uniform that we are supposed to be known by, it is love. This woman that is sitting next to me, she made a preaching that our father preached a couple of weeks ago. that if the world is to know us, it has to know us by the color of our uniform, which is love. And she did that. And people of God, we can see what love does. It restores back families. It gives hope again. And it takes away the burden. How would you get to a place yourself of taking your neighbor's child and say, let me stay with this child, and over and above, and deciding to go to the right man of God? And you can actually see the intervention of the heart and the love of our father and mother that is in her, that she manifested. And I believe it's what we are now carrying as the sons and daughters of the prophets. Our father said, Lazarus was far away from Jesus. That's why he lost his life. But he had a choice of not staying with his sisters in the city that doesn't belong to him, but which was his sister's city. You have to go, Lazarus, to a city where Jesus is found, so that Jesus can also give you a city of your own. The city is your healing. The city is your life. The city is your business. The city is your prosperity. But all those things, you get them when you find yourself in a concentrated presence, which is this place, people of God. This is the place where it happens. This is the place where we meet God face to face. This is the presence of God, people of God. What more can we say? And how more can we thank God for such a gift in this time? A child came out of their house sick, hopeless, probably could have died in time because of the sickness that she had. But she came into this place and she went back a different person. How many times are we coming in this place without even being touched? The man of God didn't touch her. He just sent forth his word, and the word knew what to do. How many words have we heard from our Father? So many. So it shows us what the power is doing. I don't know, Doc, is there something else to say?
Maybe she wants to say a word or two.
Ndinoda kutenda Mwari wemuprofita nemuprofitakadzi.
I want to thank the God of the prophet and the prophetess.
Because sometimes zvinhu zvinonetsa kana kuti zvinotyisa.
Sometimes it's a difficult thing or a frightening thing.
Looking at a condition, ndinongoti prophet mano makandiwa na mama,
I just say
makandiproudisa.
That I'm so proud of what you've done.
You know, in the Bible, pane musikana akazoti mambo akati kuna Naamani, dai wanga uri kwedu, you wouldn't be sick like this.
In the Bible,
That's
there's a young
exactly
maiden
what
who
she
said to
did.
an army general that if you had been in our country, you wouldn't be as sick as you are.
Andigoni kuramba ndichivatenda muprofita, nokuti it's not an easy thing kutora mwana wemunhu woti rega ndimboenda naye, iye mubereki wacho atoluza hope kukondisheni yemwana. Andizive kuti dai zvakaramba kana kuti kondisheni yake yakaita wesi, ndaizoti.
I can only keep thanking the prophets because it's not an easy thing to take a neighbor's child and refer them to a man of God when the parent has actually lost hope. What if she had not recovered? What if it had gotten worse?
But nekuda kwenyasha dzenzvimbo ino,
But thanks to the grace of this house,
ndine mamwe manyemwe nekuonererwa kwandinako
I
neanointing
am so
yemuprofita.
proud and I have a certain level of pride that I take.
So there you are, people of God. This God makes amazing miracles, strange kind of glory. Thank you, Ruva. Thank you, Mama. Thank you very much. Mwari vanoita kuti tionererwe.
God is proud to be proud.